The Atlantic Ocean, vast, powerful, and unforgiving, has witnessed some of the most devastating catastrophes in human history. For centuries, its treacherous storms have sunk countless ships, from ancient explorers to modern vessels. The infamous Bermuda Triangle, a region within the Atlantic, has become legendary for mysterious disappearances. Even the Titanic, the so-called unsinkable ship, met its tragic end in these icy waters. The Atlantic's unpredictable currents and violent weather have shaped the fate of nations and the course of history. April 14, 1912. The Titanic, hailed as unsinkable, struck an iceberg in the North Atlantic during her maiden voyage from Southampton to New York. The collision opened 5 of the ship's 16 watertight compartments to the sea, more than the ship could survive. Panic erupted as it became clear there weren't enough lifeboats for everyone. The Titanic carried only 20 lifeboats, enough for about half the people on board. In less than 3 hours, over 1,500 people perished in the freezing waters, while just over 700 survived, many rescued by the RMS Carpathia. The disaster shocked the world and led to sweeping changes in maritime safety, including the International Convention for the Safety of Life at Sea in 1914. The Titanic's story remains a haunting lesson in human hubris, and its wreck was not discovered until 1985, lying over 12,000 feet beneath the Atlantic. Let's move to another tragedy that changed the Atlantic forever. In 2004, Hurricane Ivan, a Category 5 monster, tore through the Caribbean and the U.S. Gulf Coast. Ivan forced the evacuation of over 2 million people across several states. It destroyed 90% of Grenada's homes, spawned over 100 tornadoes, and left hundreds of thousands without power. Ivan also caused massive storm surges, damaged oil platforms, and led to the temporary closure of major bridges and highways. In total, the storm caused $26 billion in damage and claimed 92 lives. Ivan's fury was a brutal reminder of the Atlantic's raw, destructive power. The Bermuda Triangle, stretching from Bermuda to Florida to Puerto Rico, has become infamous for unexplained disappearances. In 1945, Flight 19 vanished without a trace, followed by a rescue plane that also disappeared. No wreckage was ever found, fueling theories from rogue waves to magnetic anomalies. One of the earliest and largest losses was the USS Cyclops in 1918, which vanished with 309 crew members aboard. No distress call, no trace ever found. In the late 1940s, 2 British passenger planes, the Star Tiger and Star Ariel, disappeared while flying over the Triangle, deepening the mystery. Hundreds of ships and planes have reportedly been lost here. While many incidents have been explained, the core mysteries endure. The Bermuda Triangle remains one of the Atlantic's most chilling enigmas. December 6, 1917. In Halifax, Nova Scotia, a French munitions ship, the SS Mont Blanc, collided with the Norwegian vessel SS Imo in the busy harbor. The resulting explosion was the largest man-made blast before the atomic bomb, releasing energy equivalent to roughly 2.9 kilotons of TNT. It flattened the city, killed 2,000 people, and injured over 9,000 more, making it one of the deadliest disasters in Canadian history. A tsunami and firestorm followed, leaving Halifax in ruins. The blast shattered windows 50 miles away and was heard over 200 miles distant. The Halifax explosion stands as a stark warning of the dangers lurking in busy harbors. Relief efforts poured in from across Canada and the United States, and the tragedy led to major improvements in emergency response and harbor safety worldwide. In 1915, the RMS Lusitania, a British ocean liner, was torpedoed by the German U-boat U-20 off the coast of Ireland. The ship was en route from New York to Liverpool, carrying nearly 2,000 passengers and crew. The Lusitania sank in just 18 minutes, taking 1,198 lives, including 128 Americans. Many passengers had little time to escape, and lifeboats were difficult to launch due to the ship's severe list. Prior to the voyage, Germany had warned that ships entering the war zone around the British Isles could be targeted. Despite this, The Lusitania sailed at near full capacity. The tragedy outraged the world and shifted public opinion against Germany. The loss of American lives put immense pressure on President Woodrow Wilson to respond. The Lusitania's sinking became a catalyst for the U.S. entering World War I. The event also sparked debates about whether the ship was secretly carrying munitions, a claim that remains controversial. It remains one of the Atlantic's most infamous wartime disasters, a stark reminder of the perils of naval warfare. Now a modern catastrophe with global consequences. In 2010, the Deepwater Horizon oil rig exploded in the Gulf of Mexico. 11 workers died, and the rig sank, rupturing the wellhead. The blowout preventer failed, allowing oil to escape unchecked. For 87 days, over 200 million gallons of oil gushed into the ocean, making it the largest marine oil spill in history. The spill devastated marine life and local economies, leaving scars still visible today. Thousands of birds, sea turtles, and marine mammals were killed, and fishing industries suffered massive losses. Deepwater Horizon was a sobering reminder of the risks of deep-sea drilling. The disaster led to billions in fines for BP and new regulations for offshore drilling safety. The Great Hurricane of 1780 remains the deadliest Atlantic hurricane ever recorded. Striking in October, it obliterated Caribbean islands, killed over 22,000 people, and destroyed entire fleets. The hurricane devastated Barbados, Martinique, and St. Lucia, flattening towns and leaving thousands homeless. Entire plantations were wiped out, and the region's economy was shattered for years. With no warning systems, communities were utterly defenseless. The hurricane even sank British and French warships, impacting the ongoing American Revolutionary War. The storm's legacy is a chilling testament to the Atlantic's supreme power, and a reminder of how vulnerable the Caribbean was in the age before modern meteorology. In 1991, the Andrea Gale, a 72-foot commercial fishing boat from Gloucester, Massachusetts, set out for the Grand Banks to catch swordfish. The crew of 6 was experienced, but they had no idea they would soon face one of the most infamous storms in Atlantic history. A rare convergence of weather systems, including Hurricane Grace, created what meteorologists called the perfect storm, with waves reported over 100 feet high and winds exceeding 70 miles per hour. The Andrea Gale's last radio message, sent on October 28th, was a desperate call for help as the storm intensified. It was their final goodbye. Despite an extensive Coast Guard search, the ship vanished without a trace, leaving only debris and an empty life raft found days later. The tragedy inspired the book and film The Perfect Storm, and the story endures as a modern legend of the Atlantic's fury and the dangers faced by those who work at sea. On November 1st, 1755, a massive earthquake struck Lisbon, Portugal, just as citizens gathered for All Saints' Day Mass. The city was leveled, fires raged, and then a tsunami swept away survivors. The earthquake is estimated to have reached a magnitude of 8.5 to 9.0, making it one of the most powerful in European history. Up to 100,000 people died, and the effects were felt across the Atlantic. The tsunami reached as far as the Caribbean and South America, and tremors were reported in North Africa and even Finland. The disaster shocked Europe and changed the course of history. It led to major advances in seismology and urban planning, and inspired philosophical debates about fate and human suffering. The Atlantic's power was on full display, forever altering Lisbon and the world's understanding of natural disasters. In 1873, the SS Atlantic, a White Star Line steamship, ran aground off Nova Scotia. The ship was en route from Liverpool to New York, carrying nearly 1,000 passengers and crew. Navigational errors and brutal seas doomed the ship. The crew, running low on coal, diverted to Halifax for refueling, but misjudged their position in the darkness and heavy weather. Over 550 people died, most of them immigrants seeking a new life. Tragically, not a single woman or child from the steerage class survived the disaster. Local fishermen mounted heroic rescues, braving the treacherous surf to save survivors clinging to the wreckage. Their efforts saved more than 400 lives. The disaster foreshadowed even greater losses to come, and remains the deadliest civilian maritime disaster in the North Atlantic before the Titanic. These stories are more than history. They're reminders of the Atlantic's untamable force. From shipwrecks to storms, each catastrophe reveals both tragedy and resilience. The Atlantic has claimed thousands of ships, from the Spanish treasure fleets of the 16th century to the RMS Titanic in 1912. The ocean has shaped laws, changed lives, and left scars that endure. The 1707 Scilly naval disaster led to the Longitude Act, revolutionizing navigation. Countless coastal communities have been rebuilt after devastating hurricanes. No matter our technology, we remain at the mercy of nature's power. The 2005 Atlantic hurricane season broke records with 28 named storms, reminding us of the ocean's unpredictability. The Atlantic's secrets and stories deserve to be remembered. From the lost city of Atlantis legend to the discovery of the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, its mysteries continue to inspire exploration. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an episode. Let us know in the comments which Atlantic catastrophe surprised you the most.